talk about it. You wanna talk about it? The Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. The Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. The Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. The Hollywood of the South. Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. Let me do it. WCEG, Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. The Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. The Hollywood of the South.
We are back on WCEGWOOD, the Hollywood of the South, and I'm your host once again, Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director here in Atlanta, host of WCEGWOOD, the Hollywood of the South. Once again, you can call in at 678-619-1402. That's 678-619-4102. If you missed the first half of the show, you missed a treat. We had two of the members of the two cast members of the Untold Secrets, the Belinda Michaels story. And we had Belinda tell us a little bit about, you know, why she did the movie, the casting process of the movie, and she shed some light on the whole experience of it and some of the emotional parts of the movie that really touched her, right? So with that being said, now we have the lead members of the movie in the building, the stars. I call them the stars because they did a phenomenal job in the film. I was able to be witnessing because I was one of the producers. I was the producer and one of the actors in the film. So we have Brittany D. Williams in the building.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
That's smile just hi. And we got Ivan Flores in the building.
Hello, hello.
Man, you played an interesting role. We're gonna get to you in a minute.
Yes.
But
How you doing?
but I want to introduce Brittany because Brittany. Okay, so now I want to talk about a little bit about my role, real quick. I played the role of Travis, who was the husband of Belinda, and it was a tragic turn in the life of Travis during the film, but you know he was madly in love with Belinda, the character. Correct?
Right.
All right. So in playing that role, it was a lot of fun. You know, I enjoyed the role. I think one of the biggest things about doing the role is having a chemistry with the person that you're doing the role with, and me and Brittany killed it. So I really enjoyed working with you.
Yay.
And so we are going to talk a little bit more about your character. Before we get to that, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, how you got into acting, the whole scenario behind the Brittany D. Williams story.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Brittany D. Williams, and I am a born and raised Georgia peach.
Boom! Boom! I love hearing that. You know, everybody was like, there's no more of y'all in here. Yes, it is. There's plenty of us.
Yes, it is. Yes, I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I have been acting for about 15 years now. I've always had an acting bug since I was a little girl. I started off in theater.
Okay.
Love the stage. Actually went on to study theater in college at Columbus State University here in Georgia. And I thought that is where I would take off, was to go from the stage of CSU to New York and do the whole stage scene. Didn't quite happen that way. I've been with my husband. Actually, I'm married, and I've been with my husband since I was 15 years old. So, yes, I have been with him since I was 15. And
that's a long
It's a long time, yes, and I still love my boo. So after college, I actually ended up getting married. And I'm thinking I'm getting married, you know, hey, baby, I love you, but I'm about to go and audition and do this acting thing 100%. God had other plans. We got married, and bam, there go baby number one. Like immediately. So I said, okay, well, I'll roll with it. I can still, you know, do this with a husband and a baby. Bam, baby number two. And I'm just like,
I got him out of the way right away. That's what I'm talking about. Get him out the way early.
Yeah, it wasn't the plan, but hey, God's will. So I had to take a little break from actually being on the stage in college to straight into motherhood and life. And I had to do that for about 5 years. So I dedicated myself to my family, and while doing that, I still had that desire always to be on someone's stage. It was just eating me alive that I was not doing what I knew I was called to do. And it started to come out. And my husband would hear me complaining, and he's like, man, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So eventually he was like, well, shoot. You're never going to have a time where you're not ready.
Right.
So,
That's so
just
true.
do it.
Yeah.
We'll
Right.
figure it out, but just do it.
Yeah.
And
That's a good husband because he wants you to be happy. He understand.
Yeah.
He understand the code.
Happy wife?
There you go. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. So this is someone who has truly pushed me into my destiny. And I just told myself, if this is what I want to do, I'm going to go do it. So I went and I started looking for auditions. I didn't have an agent or anything. I just wanted to go and touch and see what's out there. And I did my first feature film in 2010 called Sunday Morning Rapture. And it was produced by Pastor William L. Shields over at Hopewell Baptist Church.
Oh, I know that church. Okay.
Yeah, that was my first film experience. So I didn't go back to stage because it was kind of hard to have that type of schedule, with little ones. So I said, let me just try this film thing out. And the first moment I stepped onto that set, I knew that's exactly what I was supposed to be doing.
You had the same experience I had.
It was just unbelievable. And I was like, God, if you let me do this, man, I would give you so much glory. And, this is just, I just knew that this is what I was supposed to be doing.
Right.
And so after that, I started looking for more auditions. And eventually I got serious and I said, let's go get some headshots made, some professional headshots made. And I'm going to go find me an agent. And went out. Started submitting to agencies, and I came across a casting for The Agent. I didn't know what it was. This was actually the one that you guys were casting. And when I met Miss Belinda, I said, my goodness, this woman is special. And I knew that she had, she just wanted to see people grow. Like what she talked about earlier, she had a desire to impart into these actors. And I saw how passionate she was about actors. And I said, let me just submit and see what happens. And here I am today.
All right, then. And I tell you, man, you're a great actress.
I appreciate that.
One of my favorites.
Phenomenal.
One of my favorites for sure.
Thank you.
You do amazing work. Amazing work.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Ivan.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. First of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to have me here.
No doubt, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to bring my people on BMTA all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about who you are, where you from.
Well, unlike y'all, I am not originally from Georgia.
Okay, good stuff. No, just
I'm actually an Army brat.
Okay.
Grew up basically on a military base. Yeah, and
grew up on a military base, moved around quite a bit.
Yeah, moved around.
What landed you in Atlanta?
The military.
Right, and they decided to stay here. Your parents did, and
no, my father, he's actually in North Carolina now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I decided to stay. Opportunity was basically knocking at the door, so.
Okay, and what led you into acting?
Well, growing up in a Puerto Rican household, both my parents, when they moved to the States, they didn't know English. And so my mother, the way that she learned English was to watch soap operas and watch movies. And my father, also being in the Army, he was always off on duty. So I always had a really stronger bond with my mother and my older sister. Okay. And it was, my mother, she's a teacher. So every time she would come home, bad day from work, she would say, well, let's get lost. Well, where are we going? I don't know, wherever the nose points. And so we would go to the movies. That was like our temple where we would go and just get lost. And stuff. Yeah, and just I really just began a passion and a love for movies and for film.
And then it led you to want to be an actor. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Now, see, so when you saw movies, because this is what happened to me, when you saw movies and you saw these people acting these roles, were you like trying to imagine yourself playing that role, like putting yourself in that spot?
Yes, all the time. Actually, I was that little kid in front of the TV that would just imitate all my favorite characters.
Wow.
And then that's kind of really the basis of why I wanted to be an actor. And later on down the road, as I grew older, I feel like I grew out of it. But it wasn't till, you know, life takes us on these journeys, and some not so good, but they are meant to teach.
Right.
And it wasn't until I lost a best friend who was shot and killed that I really realized that how short life was.
Right.
And that you have to, each day is a blessing, and you have to take advantage of that.
So you went for it.
Went for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that's kind of the basis of how I live my life now, is just you know, constant leaps of faith. And I feel like those struggles were that I experienced was God giving me that thick skin, the ability to be resilient in such a demanding and cutthroat industry. So,
wow, you got a lot to say, even though I had to get it out of you.
Yeah.
But that's a unique story because people can learn from what you have to say. So when you put your stuff out there and you let people be aware of who you are as a person, a lot of people can relate to that, and they like, okay, so I could do this, you know, I could do that because he did it. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, don't be afraid, you know, say whatever you got to say. Don't be afraid of being and telling who you are as a person. I done been through a lot of stuff, lots of stuff. But, you know, I learned to be who I am and just put it all out there because I have helped a lot of people in just being who you are. And that's when I say, you know, that's when you become a blessing to others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people can relate to you and what you go through, because you don't never know what somebody's going through until you start talking. Yes. They be like, oh man, I went through that. Okay, tell me more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with that, so you was a little kid, you know, you playing little characters and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so you got older. What led you to sign with BaLinda?
Well, I feel at the moment I was shopping for an agent.
Okay.
I really was. And I did my due diligence, and I sent out like maybe 20 packets.
Okay.
Wow.
And months went by. I didn't hear from anyone. And then all of a sudden I hear from 2. And I was just days away from signing with this particular agency. And I had a friend that was like, well, hey, I have a friend that's an agent as well. Let me get you in touch with her. And so I got in touch with Belinda, and she set me up with an interview. And this was like right before signing my life away to another agency.
Wow.
You know, and one of the things that I really wanted was, I had grown to have this kind of attack, this kind of fight. And I wanted an agent that mirrored that same fight, that same energy.
Right.
And I felt like that other agency that I was about to sign with didn't have that. And, you know, in this industry, I mean,
right.
This industry weeds out the weak very fast.
Now, what's interesting is that you was on that path at the very beginning. Sometimes it takes people time. They have to grow. Right. They have to learn the process. Because like Lainie said earlier, you know, most actors, they'll be like, I just want an agent. And they'll just go with anybody. No. You know what I'm saying? And when you be with that agent for a while, you start seeing how it really is. You start learning the relationship that you're supposed to have with an agent, right. and all the, you know, what the agent's job is and what they're supposed to do. And then you're like, wait a minute, they're not doing that. Let me go to somebody who's doing that. Right. And then that's when they decide to go do the research, usually after the first experience. But you was like that from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, growing up as an Army brat is just, that was one of those things that was instilled in me. Like, you know, you have to always do your research. Always do your research.
Right.
With everything. It's always do your research. That was one of the things that was really nailed into me. A lot of different lessons I learned coming from such a disciplined and very strict household.
Right.
You know, it's just you learn to kind of not have kind of have a game plan for everything, instead of going in blind.
Right, right. So you were so you chose to stay in Atlanta.
Yes.
And your parents. So you just found a place. You just like, look, I'm gonna just do my thing. I'm gonna stay here in Atlanta, and so you know it's really important that you, because one of the things I know people that are their parents are in the military and they move around a lot.
Right.
And you were brave enough to say, look, I'm gonna stay here because this is where it's booming at. Oh, yes. And do your thing. So that kudos to you, because that's that could be scary for a lot of people, but you were brave enough to do it.
No, thank you.
So, Belinda, what about Brittany made you want to sign her?
Well, as you noticed, I changed my dress. A little big on me, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. But I just wanted to look like Brittany.
First of all, you were this was the perfect choice to play you in the Belinda Michaels story.
Awesome. It really was.
The perfect choice. But we're gonna get to that. I just had to say that because goodness gracious, she looked just like you oh my God.
It was
y'all like
crazy.
the spitting image.
Right.
But go ahead. What made you want to sign her?
I actually, truthfully, I was interested in she hadn't read for the part, and I had someone else that I was interested in. And this girl hadn't read either, but I was interested in her as well. But I never got a read from her. I just was interested in her. But when I got the read for Brittany, it was just a wrap. It was like, I don't care who else is auditioning for this role. She just owned it. She was just so me. And then visually looking at her, I just felt like so me. You know, everything about her just was so me. The big forehead. We discussed about that.
But what made you sign her on to the agency?
Oh, same thing. Skill. Talent. Her talent, the skill level. And one of the things that I can say about Brittany is she's very dedicated to the craft, and she's on point. And that's what's important in the industry. When you do have an agent, that's great, but it's something that's like teamwork with an agent, which I talk about all the time, don't I? Teamwork, because you can't put all the pressure on the agent. And what happens in Brittany's situation, if I tell Brittany we have an audition or whatever, Brittany gets it to me right away, and she was like that with the audition. I mean, with the initial audition with her, I could feel the energy from her. She was very dedicated, and she's a great actress. Why would you not sign someone that's great? That's above all, she's a great actress. Right. She's really good, and she deserves everything that comes to you. You deserve that because she's a brilliant actor, and we will see her on the big screen.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Skill level, total skill level, brother. Total skill level. Total skill level.
Now, what about Ivan?
Same thing. What attracted me to Ivan was the initial audition tape that you sent was a nerd.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I was like, oh my God, it's so believable. He really was the nerd. Every little thing that he did, his improvisation, his facial, the way he moved, everything was so spot on. And it was all improvisation, wasn't it? It wasn't even a script. It was just improvisation. And I was just drawn to that. So that's why he got with BMTA, is because of that improvisation tape, because you didn't even have a reel, so to speak, but it was just that, like, this boy can act. I'm like, he can really act.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you something. Ivan has grown so much because headshots wasn't great, but I still signed him. He didn't have a reel, but I still signed him. Why? Because I believed in him, and I believed that he wanted it, and that I could nurture him into becoming the actor that he is today.
Yes.
And all of that happened. He followed everything that I suggested.
Awesome.
He followed it to the T. No joke. And that's why today he carried that lead role in Untold Secrets. That's why.
Thank you for taking a chance on me, Belinda.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
And so, you know, and that in essence is the reason why I asked that question, because one thing I know about you, and you said this just a second ago, you definitely do believe in your actors. I don't even think you cast anybody for your company that you don't believe in.
I won't. If I don't believe in you, you won't get in.
I've witnessed that. So with that being said, you know, because I've seen you bring people on that really didn't have the skill, but it was something about them that made you believe in them.
Right.
You know, and you was like, I can help them become better.
Right.
So to you, it's not just about bringing in actors to, you know, make a dollar. It's about grooming them and giving them a chance and making them a better person all the way around.
Right.
So, would you call you? I wouldn't even call you really just an agent. You're kind of like a grooming agent. You know what I mean?
I often say
like
that
the
about
manager.
myself. I do. And that's why everybody calls me Mama B.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they call me Mama B, because that's exactly how I see myself. Just what you said. Because I do go way and beyond. You can call me. I've had actors 2:30 a.m. in the morning. They'll email me 1 a.m. It don't matter. If I'm not sleeping, I'm going to pick up. I'm not going to respond. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm more than just an agent. It's like, I feel like if you're an agent, you gotta really, really put that heart and that love and that thing into your talent.
Right.
Because if they don't see that you believe in them and you're putting all that into them, they're gonna slide and they're gonna slip. Because believe it or not, actors do need encouragement.
Yeah.
From
Oh
their
yeah. All the
agent.
time.
They need people to believe in them. So if you're signed to an agent never calls you. When you call the agent, you never get a response. You never hear from them. I don't understand that partnership.
Right.
Because an agent and an actor is a partnership.
Right.
So I don't understand that. So I decided that I was going to be the agent, as they call me, Mama B. And that's what I am, Mama B.
Okay. So anybody who's watching right now and you're an actress or an actor, you're hearing it directly from an agent, what it takes to be signed to Belinda Michaels anyway. Some people don't see things the same. Some agents aren't the same.
True.
But there are some agents who really care, and she's one. You know, I can say that because I'm signed to her myself.
Yeah.
So with that, you have how many signed people do you have to your roster right now?
We have 88.
88.
Yeah, we are a boutique talent agency. Initially, it was only supposed to be 50. Initially, my goal was to be as small as I could purposely so that I could have hands-on with each actor. But
is that why you call it boutiques?
It is
smaller?
boutique.
Okay.
We are boutique. We are boutique for a purpose, and we will never be beyond boutique because I don't want that. I don't want 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people on my board because then I can't call you and I can't, I got too many other people. I don't want that distraction. I want to be able to, as you stated, groom. I want to be able to do that, and that's why I purposely made it a boutique agency.
All right, so I'm going to ask you this question because I know somebody after this show is going to ask me, what made you sign me? I know somebody going to ask me. They're going to like, why you ain't telling me? Why you ain't asking?
You were the first person that I signed with BNTS.
I know. I kind of figured that. I kind of figured that.
I have to say, I followed you on social media and I can't remember the clip, but I saw something of you acting on Facebook.
Okay.
And I said, man, I like that guy. I mean, I just like you. I liked your acting style. I liked you. I followed you, and I researched your social media to see what you were all about, which is something I do. So if you are planning to sign with, coming to BMTA, I do go to your social media.
Oh yeah,
I do that.
A lot of people, and that's very important. That's very
because
important.
I want the integrity level with you as well. I don't want you. I just leave it like that. I just want the integrity level on the same level as me. But anyways, so how it all came with Wardell is I saw you online. So basically, you got scouted.
Yeah.
Oh.
I scouted you. And that's basically what we call it, scouting. And that's what I did. I scouted you online, and I contacted you. Remember?
I'm going to tell you that story, too, because you don't know what happened during that time. Because I never told you.
Okay.
But prior to that, I had ended the contract with my old agent, and I was kind of just freelancing, doing my thing. So I was telling one of my friends, I said, man, I need to get back into this. I need to give me another agent, because I literally was revamping my whole life, like especially when it comes to acting. Because I had took a break. I had took a break for a while. During that time, I was just frustrated with everything, the whole industry. And so I took a break, but I got the role. I started getting cast for a lot of roles and stuff again. And people just kept calling out. And then I got the Last Time project came through. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And I got into it. And Reese Odom was like, you need to get back into this. Why? What's wrong with you? Like, you're the bomb actor. And I was just like, okay, Reese, I'm gonna work on it. So I was telling my friend LaDarian Raymond, who is a really close friend of mine, and I said I need to get me an agent. So I didn't know where I wanted to go.
Right.
My mom had an accident. She has rheumatoid arthritis, and she fell somewhere at going to a doctor's appointment. So I was in the hospital with her sitting there, and I was trying to get her mind off of everything and just talking to her about the industry and what I was doing, and that I'm working on some things. I said, I'm actually thinking about getting me an agent again, and then you called. Like, you literally called right after I said that. And when you called, you asked me, you said, what are you doing? And I said, because I didn't want to say what I was doing, but I was just like, I'm good. Because I knew you was a casting director.
Right.
So I thought you were finna cast me for something. I'm like, what? I got a call from Belinda Michaels? What? Okay, what you got? And you said, so are you signed with the agent right now? I was like, darn, because in my mind, I'm thinking I had to be signing somebody for the role.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you was like, are you signed with the agent right now? I was like, no, not right now. And you were like, that may be a good thing. I said, what? You said, that may be a good thing. And then you said, I want you on my roster.
Yeah.
And I said, really? And she was like, yeah. I said, okay. You said, I will send you the information in your email, gave you my email address, and we got off the phone. And I looked at my mom like she said, what? I said, I think I just got an agent.
What just happened?
What? She said, what? I said, yeah, I think I just got an agent. She said, well, you just said you didn't have one. I said, I know. Well, I got one now, I think. And that's how that all went. You didn't even know I was in the hospital sitting next to my mom.
Wow, I didn't know that.
When you called me. I never said it.
Wow. Well, you were definitely scouted.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. But anyway, so now we're going to get to the Untold Secret Belinda Michaels story. Now, you played the lead role in the film, which was an astronomical amount of lines.
Oh, goodness.
And you had to portray different modes and attitudes and different... Now, the character goes through a lot of emotions.
Yes.
And you had to tap into all those different emotions. How hard was that for you to get into that character?
Honestly, it wasn't hard because I actually took the time to speak with Belinda about who she was as a person and really get into her mind and understand her history so that I could tap into those different emotions. And once I got an understanding of, okay, this is the real Belinda Michaels and the struggles that she went through. Then I had to kind of align those with what I've gone through personally in my life. Side note, I think as an actor, it's always good to pay attention to life because you can always draw from those life experiences. So when I attacked this role, I had to think of myself as Belinda Michaels, a mother, Belinda Michaels, a wife, Belinda Michaels, a best friend, because she shows all of those sides of her throughout the film, and bring Brittany to that, because you can only be who you are. Right. And then in that honesty that I brought, I wanted that to just lead me in doing those scenes. And I felt like I did a good job, and I just wanted to be honest and bring her story to life.
Well, you did an excellent job. Now, in doing that role, was there any part of that you can like say that you were connected to in doing that role? Because I mean, she went through a lot.
She did.
And was there certain parts of that you were just like, oh my gosh, you know, this brings me back to.
Brings me back. I'm trying to go through.
I mean, you've been married with the same guy forever.
I have.
Like, you just all in love. I see the little hearts flying around your head and everything.
Yes. So, you know, we had some little love moments, me and Travis on screen. And you are so... And like you said, the chemistry was just real.
Right.
And just to see how Travis loved and adored you, I drew from my own experiences. Right. You know, my husband, you know, he treats me like I am the queen of the earth, and I'm
he
just
should.
Yes. And
that
it was
smile,
just,
boy. You talking about him? You know, you smile from here to here.
I do, but I just felt like that was easy. That was easy to play with you. Now, a more difficult and challenging part was that role. That scene with her mom. Yeah. I still have my mother, thank God. And to see, I don't know if we can give too much away, but it was just a very emotional,
very
deep moment that I had to go to, and I had to pull.
Yeah.
I had to pull from loss.
Yeah.
I recently lost my best friend from high school last year, and it was still very fresh.
Wow.
And that is what I used for that scene.
Wow.
And the tears, everything, it was so real. And she was in the room when we were shooting that, and she had to leave because she said it brought back so much pain. Right. Yeah. And even to see that pain on her face, it took me there. Yeah.
And that also meant you did your job.
Oh, man.
You know, whenever you can make somebody go there while you doing it, it's almost like they're reliving the whole situation.
Yeah.
But with somebody else.
Yeah.
Like the whole vision of it. So for you to pull that off, to make her have to walk out the room, that means you killed that.
Yeah.
You did that thing.
Yeah.
It don't surprise me though.
Yeah.
It don't surprise me. You do your thing.
I appreciate that. I do.
So that was the hardest role for you to do in that scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was very hard.
Wow. And so when you played the role of Belinda, and you see what? Isn't it? Oh, I must have hit it by mistake. My bad. My bad. So in doing that, when you was playing the role of Belinda, like when she cast you for that role, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Oh my God.
My God.
It was excitement, but it was almost just fear a little, because not only am I playing a person's real life story, but it's your story.
Right.
You're going to be here looking at me the entire time. And I have to be so honest and know you. Like when you said that I'm looking at you and I want you to play me.
Yeah.
I went on YouTube and I started searching for every link I could possibly find just to show me, who is this woman? Yeah. I wanted to come to the table with some answers first before I dug and started asking you questions. And your life, man, It is
I think
a roller
anytime-
coaster.
Let me tell you something. Anytime you have to play the role of another person,
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx with Ray Charles, Will Smith with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Like when you have to play roles like that, that you have to really do your research.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
And understand that character throughout. Because it's hard to portray somebody else.
Yes.
Because they may have little antics that they may do, little fidgety. They could be fidgety sometimes. They could be forgetful, forget things. You know, that's one of your traits. Forgetful sometimes. But you pulled it off, man. Like you did it. I can't wait to people. Y'all got to see that movie. The Untold Secret, Belinda Michaels story. Yeah. It's going to be coming soon. Trust and
Coming
believe.
soon.
Coming
That's
soon.
right.
Ivan. So Ivan played the role of
Jojo James.
Jojo James. And boy, did you have an interesting role.
Yes, it really was. It was unlike any other character that I've played.
So what was the premise of your role? What was Jojo about?
So Jojo is a really, I would say, overconfident, a little flamboyant but straight man.
You made sure he said that right.
He said that. But yes, make sure you understand that.
No, but it was, to tap into that. It was so, I didn't have any basis or to go back to in my real life, except for just being a playful character. So that's kind of that was my groundwork for the character. I didn't get the opportunity to meet Jojo James.
Well, I'm just going to quickly say just a quick story about Jojo James. Jojo James, when I was a casting director, his name is actually Ryan, and I'm going to put his name out there, and I hope that he's watching. Ryan Klesko.
Uh-oh.
This was my first assistant ever as a CD. And he was very good looking, as you are, very playful, very fun guy. And he was just everything. People thought that he was in the family, as they said, because of his flamboyant personality. But he was not. And so that character came in because people don't judge a book by its cover, so to speak.
Right.
People did that, and so I wanted to bring that awareness out that just because someone has a little bit of a flamboyant personality, whether they're male or female, or if a girl is a little bit, she dresses more like a man a little bit with ties, because I wear ties myself, but that type of thing, don't judge that book by its cover. Right. So that's where they came out. But his character, he nailed Jojo. You nailed it. And he's fun, he's playful, and I'm so sorry to cut you off. To continue on.
No, it's good to tell that part of it because it was I know that it was a challenging role because you never played a role like that before, right?
Right.
So what did you have to do to prepare to play that role?
I studied different, just other actors that play similar roles, and kind of just created a base, my own version of the truth.
Okay.
Us as actors, I always believe, it's our job to give the truth about our characters. Because there's no other art form that is just so intimate between the viewer and the art form, because it's like, they say our eyes are a gateway to our souls.
Right.
And us as actors, the camera allows us it captures that moment, that vulnerability. And I had such an amazing time working with such an amazing cast. It really made it really easy to tap into my character when I was surrounded by so much talent and creativity. And
I worked with you a lot with that character. We really had a bond with Jojo because Jojo is actually a real person in my life. You know what I mean? So I really worked with him a lot with that.
So it's safe to say that he did the same thing that she had to do. She had to play an actual person that was real.
Yeah.
And so having to become that person is a very challenging job, to be able to pull it off.
Exactly.
Is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you did your thing, man.
Thank you.
You did
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
There were some funny moments to it, to where she was even contacting me saying, "Ooh, this would be a great meme." I'm like, "You creating memes off the dude? The movie not even finished yet." Belinda's hilarious, man. I be getting these messages. I'm just like, "Oh my God, this woman won't stop."
There she goes.
That's Belinda though.
Yep.
Your mind always going.
It's always going. It's always going. And I just thought it was cute, JoJo.
So I would say that what was your most challenging scene in the movie? Like, if you could pick out one scene that you had to do in that movie, what part was the most challenging?
I would actually, I mean, the whole.
You don't have to say the whole scene.
No, well, I would say the whole film was.
I would probably
was a little
say
bit challenging,
yeah.
but because JoJo, he's a character who is very, very confident,
right?
But he has this undertone of vulnerability because he has a secret, and I can't say anything because I don't want to give any spoilers.
Right.
No spoilers on the show.
I know what you're talking about.
But he has this undertone of vulnerability, and it was a challenge to be confident but still show just a smidgen of vulnerability. It's like going 90%. It's actually sometimes easier to go 100% than to go 90 because to kind of pull back
right,
to show that. So I found that interesting.
Okay. If now throughout your career, would you say that was probably the most challenging role you had to do in your career so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
If you had another role that someone wanted you to do, what would that be like? If you had a role you just like, that's it, I want to do it.
Well, I consider myself a versatile actor, and I like to play a multitude of different characters. The one that really points out to me, I want to be a psycho.
Okay, crazy man.
I would love to play
I think you would do that
psycho.
well.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I play the gangster, but it's all the time, and it's just
it's because
I like playing with people's minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would be a good
love
twist
to
for you.
do that as a character study. And
that would be a
definitely
good
get
twist
into
for
that.
you. I definitely can see that. I've always thought of, I mentioned earlier on the other half, playing someone with an illness or something. But I also like the movies where they play multiple people. Where a person play, oh my goodness.
Split.
Oh, Split was awesome,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like he played what? How many different people? Like
I
think it was
7?
22.
22 different
yeah.
people. That had to have been the most challenging role in his career.
Yes.
But for him to be able to pull that off, like
did it.
switch from character to character just like that, I was like, wow.
Oh yeah.
Like I would love to
took my
do
hat
something
off.
like that. Yeah. Or to play a movie where there's really no talking, just all acting.
Oh,
like this
yes.
movie called Hush. And
Oh yes.
just mostly just acting. Like
In the moment.
in the moment. That's it. Where you in your seat just clutching it and there's no talking.
Yes.
But you can see what's happening, what's about to happen and stuff. You just like, oh my God, that's insane. Movies like that are incredible to me because that's the whole premise of acting. It's not just talking, it's the motion behind it. It's the thought behind it. It's understanding who the character is and being able to dig within that character and pull it out. That's all acting. People think that some people just have the knack for it now. They just got it.
Yeah.
But some people, they don't understand. They think you could be an actor and it's just, hey, I could be an actor. I should do this, and they don't know what it takes to really become those characters. So for you, if you had a role, someone called you and said, Brittany, I got this role, blah, 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 blah. Would you do it? Oh my God, I've been waiting for this call.
So I usually get the goody girl, the goody two-shoe girl.
I can see
the girl
that.
next door.
So you want to be a bad girl?
I want to be a villain. I do. I want to play something that's so totally outside of my character that it makes it fun. And I have to go and research and dig. And I just want to be that nasty, dirty side that you've never seen. You know, that side of me. And I want to prove to myself that if I can do that, then I'm a bad behind actor.
Okay. That's
great.
something. Hey, I remember when I first got in. Now I played a bad guy, bad guy. The worst guy ever was in the Last Time movie, but before I couldn't do that. When I first got in, the first thing I was ever cast for in a stage play was the bad guy, and I could not pull it off. I just couldn't. I was a good guy the whole time. Like I was always good. I just couldn't. And so I will never forget when we was getting ready to do the play, and about a month before the play, the lead guy who was the good guy disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. Well, I never found out he got locked up, but that's a whole other story. But he disappeared. So I was trying to play the bad guy, and the lead girl said, "You should make Wardell the good guy and just get another guy for the bad guy." Now, I did good with that, but I never could let go of the fact that I couldn't pull off that bad guy. So I worked on that thing.
Challenge.
Because for whatever reason, people at some point, I said, if this came around again, I was going to murder that thing. And after that, because I think what happens is our fear kicks in on what people going to think about us. That's why kids are so easy to train like that, because they have
very much so.
They have no fear. You know, they have no filter half the time, and they could just do it. But us, we done been through some stuff. We done seen some stuff. We like, man, I don't want nobody looking at me like that. You know?
We are taught that we can't do it. As we grow older, we're kind of taught that, hey, you can't do everything. You know, that, you know, the reality is that you can't be anything that you want to be when you grow up. And we kind of grow out of that, but the simple truth is that we are. And we are the driver in our own vehicle to our own selves.
And we are the one, like, I think a lot of times we are in our own way. And that's what was happening to me in the beginning. I was in my own way. When I figured out not to care about people and what they think, and I was just like, I'm just going to do my thing. That was all I needed to conquer. I just had to conquer that fear of what people thought about me when I did a role. Because there always has to be a bad person in most film projects. It's got to be a good, it's got to be a bad. And I want to be able to master both, not just be focused on one. Like, I always go out for the good guy.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know, kids, I just want to add to that. Kids don't have the baggage that adults have. And that's something I noticed, because let's say you had a fight with your husband before you went to an audition. You know, you got to mentally take yourself there to shake that off.
Or use it.
Not everybody can do that. And that's why people fail too sometimes at auditions, because they got that baggage. Oh my God, how am I going to pay my rent? Oh my God, how am I going to do this? You know, you get all these things, because as adults, we go through all this stuff. But kids don't have that baggage. They're not coming into an audition with that baggage. They're coming to an audition with their mom or their dad, or even both parents, patting them on the back, saying, go ahead, son, you got this. You can do this, daughter. But usually, as adults, we go to auditions by ourselves. We don't have that person right on our arm telling and boosting us. So it's a whole different dynamic being an actor as a child versus an adult. But what I will say for adults, the thing that I encourage adult actors, when you go into an audition, whether you believe in prayer, it doesn't matter what your belief is on that level, but if you believe in spirituality, if you believe in faith, if you believe in yourself, before you walk in that door to go to that audition, put your head down. Give yourself 1 minute of a solid, intimate with yourself. And close your eyes and just blank out anything that happened, even if someone whatever could be going on outside before you go on that audition, you have to erase that from your mind completely, because when you walk in that door, you have to be that character. 100%. You cannot be Belinda that just yelled at her son or just whatever. You can't. You have to be the Belinda that's playing Rachel or playing Susan. So you have to erase yourself from that. So how do you do that? Get yourself into a place up here. It's all up here.
Yes, it is.
All up here. So you close yourself out to that. Don't breathe when you get into the audition room. Don't do all that. You should already be prepared before you walk in the door. So when they say, slate your name or whatever the case be, you know, actors, don't do all that. Don't do all that, because when you walk into the door, you should already be mentally ready. You should walk into that door, and I should already be Brittany when I walk into that door. It shouldn't take me to walk into that door, and then I got to let the whole casting team sit there and watch me breathe in, breathe out, and do all that. No, be ready when you walk in. Clear your mind. I just need to say that piece.
Okay. So
I actually wanted to piggyback with that.
Yeah.
One thing that I like to do before going into an audition is I like to think about other things that I am grateful for, because I once heard that fear and gratefulness cannot coexist in your mind at the same time. So as long as you are grateful for something, fear cannot take over.
That is
That's good.
powerful, what you just said. Yes.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
Definitely use that. So Belinda, the untold secrets.
Yeah.
Why did you feel like it was necessary to let the world see who Belinda Michaels was?
I'm still wondering that one. No. Okay.
Because there's a lot of parts of you in this. Your mother, your husbands, you know, and it was you've been through a lot in your lifetime. So why did you feel like it was necessary for the world to see?
You know, I struggled with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. If how people would view me, because people see me in one way as the agent or the casting director or the business boss lady or Mama B, however they vision me, but they never get to see the vulnerability in me. They never get to see some of the things that I go through as a person. So, and I'm not a very transparent person, so to speak. So, I needed to do this film honestly for me. I didn't do it for you. I didn't do it for anyone other than myself. I did it for me because I have gone through a lot, and the story will tell with the biggest story with my mom, which I don't want to share because that's kind of the hook of the film. But that carried with me into my 50s, actually, and I had to find a place where I had to let it go. And this film was 100%, as I stated earlier, complete therapy for me. So this film was created for everyone to see, no matter what you go through, no matter what you go through, if you believe in yourself, you can get out of any situation that you're in that you think you can't get out of. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? There's always a solution. There's always a good solution. But it's up to you to choose the right solution to whatever problem you have. So I chose to do that. My healing was writing the script. That was my healing with it, and hopefully sharing it with the world to be moved by it, be inspired, women to be inspired to get out of some uncomfortable situations that they might be in, no matter what it is, to be inspired to get out of it. Yes. Not to live the rest of your life in bondage with that particular situation, because it will stop your success. If you stay in that mentality, no matter what it is, it will stop your success. You cannot be successful if you're constantly dragged down with all that negative energy and all the, I would say, abuse or whatever the case may be if someone's going through. But I just wanted to say one thing about the film. I wanted to point this out. I was never beaten or anything like that. But the thing with me is, I went through a lot of head things. a lot of things that it went here, and I didn't know how to channel it. I didn't know how to deal with it. And I guess back in that day, I don't know, in the 70s, we weren't as open as we are now with stuff. Everything is open, talk to your kid about sex, talk to your kid about this. It wasn't like that in my time. No one told me anything about sex. No one sat me down and said, hey, don't do this, don't do that. None of those things were valuable or available to me, I should say, in my life. So this film is dedicated to everyone and anyone who has gone through something in their life, to be inspired to leave it alone.
That's deep. I think people need to hear that, because there are a lot of people who are going through things right now and don't know how to get out. So to do a movie for those people, that's a very huge task to take.
Yeah. That's pretty much the bottom line. My mom was the kind of woman that she believed in anything. She was like, you can do anything, baby. I mean, it was just a constant thing. Even when people told me, Wardell, how you going to be a casting director? How you going to have an agency? How you going to do that? How you going to do this? Oh, yeah, right. You really did get a record deal? Yeah, okay. Those stuff. Like, literally, I had the contract that was this big, and they still didn't believe that I got a record deal, And I never got pat on the back when I saw my name in Billboard magazine under Prince. Never got a pat on the back. But I learned that you can't look for other people to pat you on the back. You have to pat your own self on the back. You have to have that own thing within yourself, because if you look for other people to do that, it'll never happen. You can't look for that. You have to have that within yourself. And this film has actually strengthened me. As I stated, the script was written in 2011. It has been altered some for the film because it was for a play. But me writing it back then in 2011, it has encouraged just myself to, you really shouldn't be doing that, or there's better ways to deal with that situation, Belinda. So it has actually even inspired me. And I promise you, anybody that watched this, you will be inspired. You will be inspired.
Wow. So, so with that being said, you did this film for everybody.
Right.
And so it was kind of like a redemption for you to put this out.
Right.
A healing, a redemption.
Yeah.
You could look up and say, okay, whew, it's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you feel that way now?
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm good with everything that I put out there. I'm confident and I'm good with it. And I think anybody that watches this film will be, I really truly believe that you'll be inspired. It doesn't matter who you are, what level in life you are, what you've gone through, what you're trying to go through. I think the biggest thing for me is to see a woman, an African-American woman at that, to be able to achieve anything she wants.
Yeah.
Anything you want out of life, you can get it. If you're not going to get it, it's only because you are the one that's stopping it. Nobody can stop you from your dream. Come on, man. Nobody can stop you from the desires of your heart. You are your own enemy. Not other people. Not the husband that calls you you're ugly. Not the wife that says you're never going to be an actor. Not the girlfriend that said, really, Wardell? No. You are the one that will stop your success. So we have to learn to stop blaming other people. Oh, it's because of him. He wouldn't help me. She wouldn't support me. It's you. You're the one. So.
Okay. We got 5 minutes left in the show. And I want to ask Brittany, if you could leave one bit of advice for anybody who is watching, who is an actress, actor, what would that be?
I would say just live life and enjoy it, because like I said earlier, as an actor, those are the experiences that you're going to have to pull from.
Right.
And pick up new trades, learn new things, because at the end of the day, you're bringing yourself and what you know to the production or to that audition. And the more you bring, then the more those casting directors can say, hey, I want that girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
She can do this. She can do this. She can do this. Yes. Let's see what she can do with this role. So go learn as much as you can.
Okay. All right.
That's good.
Ivan?
My last bit of advice would be to dream big. Because so many people settle themselves short because they don't dream big enough. And once you do that, never quit. Never, ever, ever quit. Because as long as you are persistent, no matter what the case may be, as long as you're persistent, you will reach your destination eventually.
That is so true.
Okay. You said a ton of stuff.
Good nuggets.
A good nugget. So like you said a whole bunch of, but I'll ask you again. If you want to add to the whole list you gave us already.
No, but my thing would just be, I would just mirror what they said. That would be it. Honestly, just mirror what they said. And believing in yourself is really powerful because you have to believe in yourself in order for anybody else to believe in yourself.
Okay.
And I would like to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Just doing this project and playing this lead role. This is really my first lead role. This made me, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and it has pushed me to a level of confidence in my talent and in myself that I have not seen so far. And when we wrapped this production, I told myself, you are a lead actor and you can do anything you want. You can do anything. You can play any role. Brittany.
That's right.
I had so much confidence when I put that script and I closed and I said, God, you are so amazing.
Yes.
Because you showed me the gift that has been here in the beginning. And I'm so glad I said yes when Chris, my husband, said, just go do it. The inspiration that you just told us about, this inspired me to have no regrets.
Wow.
And I want to be that woman, that mother that that dreamed big and said, I have a dream and I'm going to do this. And for my children, I want them to know that even though I did it in later years, it was still done. And I gave my all and I'm still giving my all. So I'm a lead actress, and I thank you for believing in me.
You're welcome.
The one thing I would say about Belinda, and she, it's certain things that you have done with me that stick out. And one of the things is I remember you calling me about a role. You said, Wardell, this guy, he wants you to do this role. He said, but the money he was asking to pay you're like, no. Right. He said, let me send you Wardell's resume. And you sent him my IMDb. He said, go to his IMDb, look at his IMDb, and call me back. And the guy called you back and doubled or tripled it or something. And so I was like, yeah, that's how you do that. But it took an agent. You know what I'm saying? That's the role of an agent, is to get people to recognize that how your talent is, like the level of talent, that the level that person is on. Right. Because sometimes we can go and try to do stuff and we look like we crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they think they all that. But see, when you got an agent that's doing that, it's a whole different ball game. So that's the one thing, because you preach this all the time. I'm your agent. I do that. Yeah. You would say that all the time. You would say that to everybody. Like, that's my job. I do that.
Right.
So I take that.
Stay in your lane.
No. Yeah. I always remember that. So, Brittany, how can people reach you?
You can follow me on Instagram at the Brittany D. Williams. And I'm also Brittany D. Williams on Facebook.
All right. Ivan?
And you can follow me on Instagram at iflow86, IFLO86.
All right. And Belinda, we already said, but go ahead and say it again.
You can follow me on at BM Talent Agency.
All right.
Everywhere.
So if you're an actor or actress looking to seek an agent, she gave you some nuggets on what you need to have and be prepared for if you're going to join with her. So be prepared. Be prepared because she hardcore.
Yeah, she can be cutthroat.
She is hardcore. I've seen you tell people, what was that? I was like, oh my God.
Someone just said to me the other day, literally, someone said yesterday, you are woo. He was like, you are woo.
Yeah, because you're so honest. Like, you can't even hide it. Your face expression telling all.
I can't. That's so true.
When we did that one audition with all the actors and stuff. The agent. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. That was, I just died. I had to turn around because I didn't want to laugh at some people. But it wasn't funny, but it was funny. It was just fun because you so raw. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't even know. Do she know she like? Yeah, she knows she like that. But that's the end of the show.
I just tell it like it is. I like to be very truthful. And I think as an agent, I want actors to know that I'm not here to play games.
Right.
This is my living. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to play games, and I don't want nobody to come to me playing games. If you're not going to be 100% at acting, then don't come.
And she will tell
straight up
how good you are.
Yeah.
She will. And I think that's what it takes, though, because some people, when they take that, they be like, oh, you going to be, okay, I'm going to go fix it and show you next time. That's how you got to be. Right. Mm-hmm. You got to take this industry. You got to have tough skin to be in this industry. You got to have some tough skin.
Yes, embrace failure.
Yes.
Embrace it.
Embrace it and just start over. Do it again. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
There's tons of auditions. Yeah. Jobs for everybody. Trust me. Lots. So, on that note, that ends our show. I'm Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director here in Atlanta, the host of WCEGWOOD, the Hollywood of the South. Thank you, Belinda, for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Brittany.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.
These guys are all doing great things. Make sure you follow them on social media. I am Wardell Richardson. Once again, next week is going to be the Bomb Show. Tune in 6:30 to 8:30 on Thursday night. I'm Wardell Richardson signing out. Peace.
Peace.
Hey.
Yeah. Let me do it. You wanna talk about it? We gon' talk about it. You wanna talk about it? That Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. Hollywood. Let me do it. WCEG, Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it.